Goeiemôre, ek's Devan Lotter, TSR vir Corteva AgriScience. Ons is vandag hier so in die vyeboom area, wat hoofsaaklik 'n kernvrug area is. And thank you Gustav that you're also here today. Can you maybe just touch on the importance of GF-120 in terms of fruit fly management?
Devan, it's nice to be here, thank you. I think very important, the tool of GF-120 is attract and kill. It's one of the most important tools in a fruit fly management program. One of the tools the farmers can use. With GF-120 as a bait, it gives the farmer an option as a baiting solution to apply to the trees and fits well with the integrated pest management system. As well, it's organically registered, so it's a good tool for the farmers to use. You touched on ground baiting and why it's important. For me, we look at fruit fly management in an area-wide sense of it, and there we use area-wide programs, predominantly mostly effective with aerial applications where we cover a huge amount of areas or big hectares in the shortest amount of time. But the importance of ground baiting, it's very important that it's supplementary to your aerial baiting, especially in times it's closer to harvest where the fruit ripens or where your fruit fly population is expected to be higher. It's important then to come in between your weeks of aerial baiting with your ground baiting and to make sure that you cover that hot spot as well. Devan, in terms of you being the technical person in the field, what are we looking for in terms of droplet size versus a normal conventional insecticide?
GF-120 is a fruit fly baiting product. We're looking at more coarser droplets that we want on the leaves, basically applying a baiting station to bait these fruit flies out of the trees. And with your conventional insecticides, we usually look at a better coverage across the canopy, where with the ground baiting of GF-120, we're looking for coarser droplets. We usually work on an average droplet size of 4 millimeters. That's usually the size of the head of a matchstick, because if you get droplets that are too small, it can dry out too fast. And when it dries out, we don't get that effective attracting capabilities of the product. As well as when the droplets get too big, it poses a risk of it running down, and it could potentially develop sooty mold at a later stage.
Devan, another important factor normally with any application is calibration and mixability. Maybe just a few words on that.
On the label, it's registered for concentration of 1 to 1.2 liters of GF-120 in 4 to 29 liters of water. So you have quite a bit of room to play with in terms of concentration, but the main thing to remember is the more concentrated the product, the better it will attract your fruit flies. We'll try to figure out from the farmer or the producer's needs what concentration we will work with. And in higher peak seasons, we'll work with a higher concentration. It's always crucial to remember that GF-120 needs to be mixed properly so that it can eventually attract the fruit.
In terms of mixing, what do you add?
GF-120 makes it easy, you only add water. When we look at a tractor or a quad bike, when applying the ground baiting solution, the first principle to follow is obviously doing your basic calibration to make sure that we actually effectively apply the correct volume of baiting solution. It might be the concentration of 1 liter GF with 10 liters of water, so we want to put down 11 liters of solution per hectare. Obviously, we get a lot of different nozzles and different systems. When we look at the sprayer, we'll see that it applies a solid stream upwards into the tree, and we'll usually want to take the GF-120, put it down where the fruit flies are. And during the heat of the day, the fruit flies will take shelter in the shade in the middle of the canopy. So we'll usually target the bottom 2/3 of the tree in a spectrum of 1 meters to 2.5 meters of height.
Okay.
With the upwards motion. And then what happens with a solid stream, as soon as it hits the tree canopy, it will break up into the smaller droplets. That's what pressure also plays an important role. You need to make sure your pressure is correct. And the best way to look and to see if your droplets is correct is actually going into the trees and looking, how's my droplets looking like on the leaves. The principle of only baiting around the block or the orchard, it can pose risks in terms of how far the GF-120 can actually attract the fruit flies. It can maybe even be every second row that we only apply. The main thing is we never want the gap of untreated area to be larger than 10 meters. With consecutive applications, we want to alternate these rows and not always apply in the same row and also sometimes just adjusting the height a little bit, not to apply consecutively on the same fruits or same leaves.
On the same line.
And just to summarize the basic principles to look at when applying GF-120 as a ground baiting application, is the first thing is calibration is key. It's crucial to make sure your calibration is correct, and with that we want the droplets to be an average size of 4 millimeters, because in a sense size does matter in this case. And then the placement as well, we want to take the bait to the fruit flies in the canopy, so we want it in the middle where the fruit flies will be, to take the bait to them, to increase the chances of them actually feeding on these droplets and not on your fruit. And I think the easiest part of GF-120 is the fact that you just add water, nothing else. It makes it easier for the producers and the people working with it. So yeah, I think that's basically what we need to look at when calibrating for GF-120 applications.
Thank you, Devan. It seems GF-120 is a sustainable solution for farmers to use. It's effective and it's easy to use. So a great tool in any integrated pest management system. So thank you for your time and the guidance in terms of the calibration.
Thanks, Gustav.
Thank you.